So hematopoietic tissue is the type of tissue that is associated with formation of blood cells, and in some cases also not just the formation but also maturation of the blood cells. So we have two types of hematopoietic tissue. One is called the myeloid tissue. Now the myeloid tissue is mostly found in the bone marrow, that is the tissue found in the hollow regions of the bone, which is the marrow, around the marrow cavity of the bones. And here mostly phagocytic cells and blood cell production takes place. Now blood cells which are produced in the myeloid tissue include RBCs, and you have granular as well as agranular. So it is not just granular, it is granular as well as agranular leukocytes, and the precursors of platelets, which are referred to as the megakaryocytes, are actually produced inside the bone marrow. So please remember that the myeloid tissue is the marrow tissue that is found in the hollow regions of your bone, which is referred to as the bone marrow. What is the next type of hematopoietic tissue? Although it is not truly hematopoietic, because in the adult body the lymphatic tissue is mostly, rather than involved in production of blood cells, it is actually involved in fighting against diseases and also involved in maturation of blood cells. So this tissue where blood cells usually mature, mostly the leukocytes mature over here, and when I talk about leukocytes, I am mostly talking about agranular leukocytes. Like for example, we can think of lymphocytes. It's mostly the site for maturation of lymphocytes. We all have two types of lymphocytes in our system. One is called the B lymphocyte and one is referred to as the T lymphocyte. So this tissue, which is associated with maturation of the lymphocytes which directly participate in immune reactions, are called lymphatic tissue. If this tissue is distributed freely in the connective tissue, it is referred to as non-capsulated. It may be found in any loose connective tissue of any part of the body. It may be along the lining of your respiratory system or the lining of your digestive system. It may be in the submucosa, which is a layer in your small intestine. So if it does not have an organized structure, it is called non-capsulated. If it has a capsule, a protective covering around it, and it is organized into specialized structure, then it is called a capsulated lymphatic tissue. Like in the case of lymph node, like spleen is a lymphatic tissue which is capsulated, it has a protective covering on the outside. Thymus, which is also present close to your heart, and tonsils in your throat region, as you all know, these are capsulated lymphatic tissue. Please remember, lymphatic tissue are associated with maturation of agranular leukocytes, which are lymphocytes and which are directly involved in immune responses.